Happy Friday. This weekend I'm doing a bunch of bookish things. I thought I would vlog it and just showcase a lot of my favorite used bookstores in LA. I recently bought a bookcase and some floating bookshelves, and I kind of want to fill in the gaps. And yeah, I'm parked outside of a good used book right now. I do have a book wish list, but I'm also open to getting any mass market paperbacks that I'm interested in. So I'm going here today, probably sideshow books later today too. I do have to go to Barnes& Noble's to get a gift for my friend's birthday next weekend. But yeah, let's go. Hello, it's Monday now, and I thought I would go over everything that I got this past weekend, as well as some books that I've been reading, what I just finished reading, and what I'm thinking about reading next. The first bookstore that I went to was a good used book, and I finally gave in and got their tote bag. But the books that I did get from there, I got from the table outside of the store, which usually holds their $1 to $5 books. And the first book I got was Tales of Mystery and Terror by Edgar Allan Poe. Horror isn't typically my go-to genre, but I just remember reading Edgar Allan Poe a lot in elementary school in one of my classes, and I thought this would be a good contribution to my Halloween, fall, October stack of books that I have displayed. I usually like to have a seasonal stack, and I thought this would be a good ad. And this was only $1. $1. And then I also got this book, Mexican Popular Arts. This beautiful book just about textiles, ceramics, jewelry from Mexico, different kind of designs. Look how pretty that is. But this was only $5. After I went to Sideshow, and though I didn't get anything this time around, I almost got Midnight Sun because I'm looking to collect the Twilight series to help fill in my bookshelves, which is why I went book shopping. But yeah, I was looking for Midnight Sun and New Moon specifically. I'm open to getting all of them, but I think for now, I just want to get those two. But they only had the like first print of Midnight Sun, and it's a lot thicker too. And so I ended up just ordering the newer prints online, which are a little bit thinner. I just wanted to show something that I did get from there last time. It's Best Love Fairy Tales. And look how pretty this cover is. They have the most beautiful used books, vintage books. I just grew up reading about a lot of fairy tales, watching a lot of movies based on fairy tales. My mom's a preschool teacher, and so she always collected a lot of cute kids' books that my sister and I would read all the time at the house. And I don't know, I just thought this one was really pretty. It has the little mermaid in here. Like, look how pretty that is. And the girl who works there always offers a complimentary espresso to drink while you browse, which is really sweet. I did want to give an honorary shout out to Bart's Books in Ojai, which is one of my favorite used bookstores here in SoCal. It was just a little too far for me to drive out this past weekend. I was thinking about it, but I didn't. I just wanted to show some books that I've gotten there in the past that I really like. I got this vintage book, Androgyny, and look at that cover. I also got this book with another beautiful cover, Woman Plus Woman, Attitudes Towards Lesbianism. I got these two books from there, and this one in particular I love to display during the springtime. It's just so pretty, so whimsical. And yeah, I think getting these books really got me into mass market paperbacks, which is something that I've been looking for. I actually have a bookshelf here where I'm going to try to just have mass market paperbacks. I ordered the Harry Potter UK paperback for the first book. I think it's like all blue. I'll put pictures of what they look like on here, but I got Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. As far as the books that I've read already this year, I finished 7 books, and my goal this year is 15. So I think the most that I've read in a year has been either 11 or 12. And so I really just wanted to try to challenge myself and push that number to 15. But I just wanted to kind of talk about the books that I've read so far. These are all the 7 books that I've read, and the ratings for them as well, if I decide to add that. I wanted to talk about the last 3 books that I've read, just because they're just more fresh in my memory. One of them being A Sharp Endless Need. It's a sapphic book, coming of age book. These 2 girls who are basketball players in a high school. And this book started off with a lot of potential. I really enjoyed the writing. The author really could have brought the story and just this relationship to come alive in like a really beautiful way, but it just never got there. The ending is kind of just like thrown together at the last minute. It's just so crazy. It definitely could have been executed better. I think if there was more progression with the relationship, then I would have enjoyed it more. It was kind of just like in this stagnant place for a really long time. I feel like it had a lot of potential, and it was whatever. And so I'm actually adding it to my unhauling box, which I'll kind of go over after all this. After that, I read Almost Life, which is kind of like the hot new sapphic book of the year. This was a long book. It was like over 400 pages. I really enjoyed reading this book. The characters did stick to me a little bit after I finished it. However, I did feel like a lot of the plot was pretty predictable. A lot of people try to execute like queer storylines. It's always the same kind of like tragic plot twist or like event that happens. And so, I mean, I still enjoyed it. The book that I most recently read was The Song of Achilles. And I know that I'm super late to the game. I know people have read this forever ago. People were raving about this for the longest time. And I've actually owned this book for a while. I've had this for a couple of years. It's been on my TBR, but I just never got around to it. I finally did. And all I have to say is, damn, this book, easily the first 5-star book that I read this year. I stayed up until 2:30 in the morning finishing it. It took me on such an emotional journey. I don't think I've read someone write about love so deeply and so beautifully while still writing it in a very simple way in a long time, if not ever. I love this book. What else is there to say? No, actually, this is all I have to say about that book. This is all I have to say. But yeah, those are the books that I've read so far. It's June 1st now, it's Pride Month, and typically I try to stay in the genre of queer books as if it's not all I read already. But usually I like to read the book that I pick from the Aesop Queer Library. I also bought the fourth and fifth volumes of Heartstopper this past week, as well as the third volume of Scott Pilgrim, just to kind of like have more of a complete series. Also because Heartstopper, the last volume, is coming out in July, as well as Heartstopper Forever, which is the movie finale of the series. As far as some books that I'm unhauling, I'm starting to build a little box. When I first moved, I got rid of a lot of books. But now, as I'm building my bookshelf, I really want to prioritize the books that I actually really want to read if it's on my TBR list, or books that I really enjoyed. The first one being, as we've talked about, A Sharp Endless Need. Just wasn't for me. I was really hoping that I would love this book. And yeah, I was just a little disappointed, and that's okay. It's going to go to someone else who might like it more than me. I'm glad my mom died. It was a fun read when it first came out and everyone was talking about it. It's probably the most interesting memoir that I've read, but I just don't feel the need to keep it anymore now that I've read it and I know the story. I'm also heavily debating on letting go of Atmosphere. Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote two books that I really, really love. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, obviously, and Carrie Soto is back. I was really hoping that this book would do what Carrie Soto is back did for me, where it was a topic, which was tennis, that I wasn't really knowledgeable in or interested in, but she made the book really, the book was just so good that like I found it very entertaining and I really enjoyed it. I don't feel like Atmosphere did that for me. I feel like it was just so informative in a way where I felt like I was reading a textbook, and the story, the love story, just kind of stretched too long. The crazy plot of it all was just like stretched out really weird, and I don't feel gave the satisfaction that was built up through the whole story. I just didn't enjoy this as much as I hoped that I would. So I think I may let this one go. Okay, so I picked up quite a bit of books while I was out this past weekend visiting home. And yeah, I thought I would showcase how my bookshelves currently look, and then also how I'll be updating it and switching things around to fit these. So this is currently what my bookcase looks like. There was way more books on here before I got floating bookshelves, and so since I moved a lot of books to there, this is way more empty. And so that's why I've been a little more determined to fill it up. On the top, this is kind of random. Just ignore this for now. I had a lot of my favorite books up here that I put on my shelf. And so this is kind of just like a throw all until I figure out what that is. This is my shelf of mass market paperbacks. And as you can see, I have a lot of trinkets that I'm putting throughout my bookshelf as well. This is my Gigi replica plush that I got from the Ghibli store in Japan. This is a little painted house that I got at one of those like kids painting studios, and I try to make it look like Hal's garden house. I have one of my favorite pictures of myself and my sister framed in this beautiful frame that I got on eBay. And all of these mass market paperbacks are either thrifted, bought from eBay, from a flea market, or just like from a random store. This is my art bookshelf, and I have my ceramic cake by Manny Cakes on here. This is a figurine of Tombo's bike that I got from Ghibli Park. And then this cute little Shibuya Crossing snow globe that I got, I think at like a gachapon place in Harajuku. I have the LA art book pamphlet in the back. And yeah, that's kind of how it looks right now. It's a little messy, but I do like how it turned out. This is my manga shelf, and I have this beautiful cover of Sailor Moon displayed. I have Suki's car on here, and honestly, all of my favorite anime now I'm trying to collect in manga format, except for Green Yuri, which is currently only manga. I think I'm gonna have to have a secondary shelf for this because it's starting to get way too filled up, and I just got the 4th edition of the Nana Anniversary volume. This holds my graphic novels, and again, just like a mix of other books. I still have to figure this out. I have this plush house keychain that I got from my friend Ruby, and I made this air dry clay piece. It is Sugar Spice and Everything Nice from the Powerpuff Girls. And then lastly, this was supposed to be kind of like my TBR shelf, but I also added my Arcane DVDs. I have my Powder figurine from the Pop Mart blind box. I have Brewster in the corner here, just waiting to serve someone coffee. He's my favorite part of this shelf, and Powder, obviously. But yeah, this is also kind of just a throw all. Some are for my TBR, some are kind of just randomly here. So again, I have to just figure all that out. This is the current situation with the floating shelves. I always have my most recently read book at the top. And yeah, just going from, I guess, top to bottom, these are my favorite queer books that I read. I will say that I did not finish The Price of Salt, but I do plan on finishing it at some point. And then of these, the bottom one is part of the queer favorites shelf. These two are just really pretty to display, but I haven't read them yet. I have these cute little ceramic buildings throughout my shelves. I got this from a ceramicist in Kyoto, and she was selling it for very, very cheap. So I'm really happy that I got my hands on I think I bought like 10 of them. But yeah, I have one there. There's one right there. And then I also have one right there. These are like my favorite witchy books, except for this one. I haven't read Rewitched yet. And this is kind of just a blank book, but it goes with the shelf really nicely. The Alice Hoffman books and also the Sarah Addison Allen book. Love them down. This is a celestial trinket box that my sister lent me. It matches the frame, obviously. I found the frame because it was similar to this. But I just have a bunch of my stones, crystals in here. And I have this jar of Soot Sprites that I got from Japan. This is the original Kiki book that I also got from Ghibli Park. I got these little candies from Japan. I'm still figuring this out. Some I haven't read yet, but a lot of these books I have read and I really like. And then I have my little Snoopy and Woodstock from a blind box. So these 3 books I picked up new. This is a new book that Aizawa finally has published in translation. And I'm trying to see how I feel about it. I'm currently I don't know, maybe a 4th of the way in. Circe, I decided to pick up because I really, really liked Song of Achilles. And I heard this book is really good. It's by the same author. And then obviously Nana, the 4th volume of the anniversary editions. And then this is a book that I already read. My sister had it and I got it back from her. And these are all books that I got from used bookstores for very cheap. I also got New Moon and Midnight Sun because I just can't resist. I feel like these are just must-haves in my collection. And then I also have these books under my TV console, the Arcane art book, Miyazaki book, and then also the Moonlight screenplay.